Alright, I'm having hella fun making videos today, so we're gonna do another fun one while I'm at it. Now that season 30 is it, and they said the game's pretty much in maintenance mode for Diablo 3, I'm gonna rank the sets as they currently are because I have a feeling they're still gonna have like one intern there who like balances the sets and tweaks numbers. And they're gonna be like tiny little tweak. I'm talking like we're not gonna see thousands of percents. I think he's gonna tweak them like maybe like 2 or 3%, like with the synergies and everything. The way they all work together, they're gonna still work on, but I think that the numbers are pretty solid, like finalized. So let's go over the sets and talk about them. Um, Hold on a second. Can I somehow hide this for a second? And I just want to pull up all the different sets, so I can talk about them. Just give me a second here. I'm literally just opening the sets pages so that I can go over them, and so I don't forget one. All right. Well, there's nothing bad on this page, so we can show. Okay. All right. The first one we're gonna go over is Immortal Kings. Where do I have it here? Okay. Here's the set bonuses. Call the Ancients last until they die, or the Barbarian die. 2 pieces. Kind of a yikes. They do 0 damage, like literally 0. So, um, yeah, I don't know about the set bonus. Reduces the cooldown of Wrath of the Berserker. Basically, this does the same thing as wearing Obsidian Rim the Zodiac does in the LOD version. Uh, so yeah. Um, and the 4,000%. This needs another 0 after it for it to be like competitive with the other sets. I'm gonna say that's my channel content. I'm gonna say Immortal Kings. Yikes! It's a D, boys. It's a D. It's not good. Again, they really needed to add like another 0 to the damage multiplier for it to be competitive with the LOD version. Um, Not much to talk about. Kind of cool. Sad that the iconic Immortal King, which was like the best set in Diablo 2, we got it. It's supposed to be Ham and the Ancients build, and it's not nearly as good as the no set version. Anyway, Might of the Earth. Now, Might of the Earth used to be there. However, let's talk about this. Um, Basically, when you leap around, you get to free Earthquake, and then you spend all the fear that you got from leaping around. Um, you use it to cast what's it called? Seismic Slam. Very fun. They increased this multiplier. They pretty much like doubled this multiplier. So it went from being an F to like a B. I'm not gonna say A. It's super fun to play, but it's got the same problem as Hoda, where after about 2 days of playing it, you're like, I'm so sick of leaping around. I wish this build had something else to it. Um, let's see. Raykor, the Legacy of Raykor. This set is notorious for having they nerfed it by half this season. It's now only 2,000%, which sucks. But let's put it this way. This set, I'm gonna try to be objective and rank it based on its power, but I personally hate it. For me, I can't stand throw barb. I can't stand the boulders. I don't like the playstyle. I miss back when the whole build was about charging around. The issue with the way the set used to be is you'd get to the boss and then charging the boss made no sense. So now they tried to add the spear in, but the spear is like now the main damage. And you basically use the spear with boulder toss, and the boulder does like a quintillion damage every time you throw it. Um, I don't like the new throw bar playstyle. However, I'm gonna give it power wise. It's insane. Um, Probably still the strongest bar build, even though it's been nerfed by half. It's ridiculous. You could speed farm with it. I wouldn't recommend it, but there's people who do because they like it. You can just keep charging around, and yeah, that's where that's going. Um, what's this called? Wrath of the Wastes. Uh, I'm gonna put above Might of the Earth. I don't think pushing with it is a viable thing, but it's Barb's best speed build by far. I like my other videos earlier today, or in general, any of my streams you can watch. I love Whirlwind Barb. Spin to Win is amazing. I love it. Um, I'm putting it here just for its potential because you use Wrath of the Waste for most of the season. Um, I like it. It's fun. I really wish they would have reworked it to be either all in on Rend or all in on Whirlwind, and not a combination of both. Not because not only is it a build based on two different skills, but the synergies between them are great, but it makes for really bad pushing potential. You got two skills that are already taking up room on your bar, and um, that's it. It's just for speed farming, and the potential for it to push is you need like 6k gons before you even try to push with it. It's dumb that it relies on Paragon to be a good build, pushing wise. I think this is a con. Yeah, let's just say this is con. It used to be like down here, pretty much dumpster. However, they changed the way Condemn works, and it now works with Phalanx. I hope I'm saying these things right. I'm not a Crusader player, but I did play. There was one season I assembled it and played it for like a day. It was fun. It went from being like here to being really fun. You walk around and you condemn, and then everything just keeps getting condemned like over and over and over, pretty much until they die. I like the auto fire that they changed the build to be. Let's see. Thorns of the Invoker. Another one that was like here. However, people did figure out that you could just become an elite hunter and just run around and fight the elites. Being thorns, you think it would be fun, but it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 thorns if the monsters have like quadrillions of health. They're never gonna do enough reflect damage to themselves to actually like even hurt themselves. The problem with thorns is that they should have put like thorns gets like 1.2 million multiplier, and then maybe it would have been okay. However, it's not an F anymore. It's bottom of barrel D because people have figured out how to do it. You hunt elites, and you can honestly kill the elite like really fast. But that's the only thing this build can do is hunt elites, and that's an unfun playstyle. I'm gonna be honest. I think we got our first F tier. Roland sucks. Um, Sweep attack and shield bash, I think, have never been cool, and they've tried to make them. They keep buffing this set, and it's still F. I don't understand the main gameplay problems with it, but I watch people try to play this, and even watching people attempt it looks like a miserable time. That's why this is going in F, because even people who like it are just sitting there just smashing their head against the keyboard, like hoping that they can push with it. So we're putting that in F. Not quite sure what this one is, boys. Uh, we could find out. Oh, Seeker of the Light. Another F tier build. Um, it's very sad that Hammerdin, which was iconic from Diablo 2 and remained iconic for going on 3 decades now. They tried to put Hammerdin in Diablo 3, and it doesn't work. Um, there's so many, like, you read all these items and it's like hammers are bigger, hammers do 1,000% more damage, hammers do 1,200% more damage. You think all these things would synergize together, but for some reason it still sucks. And again, it's another one going in an F, because even Crusader players who I watch who love Crusader say this is not fun. Um, they just, again, even the people who love it are having a miserable time. Now, there's a set I don't see on here. I don't know why. It's the new horse build, and that would go up in S. Um, yeah, the horse build, the Judgment of the Light, I think it's called. Let's call it that for the sake of, because I don't know. Um, yeah, that would be an S. Okay, Marauders. See, Marauders has had a weird thing where it started out F. Nobody was playing it because it had like no multipliers. Then they added multipliers and it went up to like C. Then they increased the multipliers. They like doubled them, and then it still was enough, so then they doubled them again, and then it went like for a couple seasons it was like literally the best set in the game, and it wasn't even close. Then they nerfed it down. Then they nerfed it down. Then this most recent patch, they decided, you know what? It's so mid, it's unbelievable. Um, my issue with the playstyle is actually putting down the sentries is unfun. There needs to be an autocast, like a way to autocast sentries, like a rune or something that just says every 10 seconds a sentry pops up or something. Not even every 10, that'd be too long. Like every 3 seconds a sentry just pops up near your location, and then it would be like maybe here. But the long history of the Marauders set is that it went from terrible to the best to like, okay, maybe it shouldn't be the best, and maybe it's still too good to like now the numbers say it's been too good for too long, so let's make it mid again. Alright, next, Natalia's Garb, I think it's called. This used to be like the worst set in the game, and it not even close. Like Roland's was better than this. And people actually had fun playing it because the Rain of Arrows was a cool effect. But it did no damage. It had literally no multipliers. And you would drop a Nats item and like be sad that it was a Nats item instead of one of the other sets. Uh yeah. Um it's good now. They buffed it, and there were the initial buffs to it were like S, and then they decided to reel that back. And then again, they reeled it back again this season. So I'm going to put Nats here. It's bottom of the barrel B. Um, It's based on spike traps now, and it's okay. Some people like it. I don't. Personally, I'd put it like down here, but I'm basing these on power, so Nats is really good now. Again, they overbuffed it and they decided, you know what? No. And I think again with maintenance mode, I think the one little intern is going to nerf it a little more, and it's going to end up easily right here. But for now, season 30 sits right there. Now I'm sad again because they're missing the God set, and the God set is God set. Um, it would also be an S. So this is an old list, I guess, but the God set would be S because it's no joke the best. Like a casual player can literally figure out how to set up God and just all you need is Hungering Arrow and to press Hungering Arrow like once every like 4 seconds now. It's easily the best farming build in the game because the casuals don't have to learn anything and you hold down one button. Uh, Shadow's Mantle and Pale. And Pale has another long history where it started as one of the worst sets in the game. Then they made it a melee Demon Hunter build, which bumped it up to like here. Then what happened was there was one season where the power was Impale would cast every like 0.1 second when you were strafing. Then it went to like S plus, like S plus plus. It was like the best build in the game, and nothing else was even close. It's not that anymore. That season ended, and then it dropped to like B. Then they decided it was still too weak and buffed it up again. And then they decided it was too strong and nerfed it. And then they decided again this season that it was strong. So I'm going to put it actually better than Rancor. The new numbers on it are insane. And I haven't played it myself, but I've watched people, and it can annihilate like up to like 140. Impale is very good. And again, here's my assessment. If that season ever comes back where Impale is autocast, they're going to have to re-nerf it. They're going to have to sit the intern down and be like, listen, this thing will obliterate 150. So, if the superpowers ever return, I'm not sure that this can stay at the 120,000% or whatever now it is. I'm just closing all these other items. Okay, what's this even called? It's the multi-shot build, but I don't know what it's called. That's why we got this open, so we can find out. Unhallowed Essence, that's what it's called. Sorry, it's been a while. I remember this build back when sets were first introduced. That's where it went. You played multi-shot to do anything in the game, and then they made all the other sets like new and unique, and this went from being the only set in the game worth like acquiring, like way back in like season like 5, 6. It went from the only set in the game worth acquiring to being like very mid, to then they buffed it again. I think it sits firmly here. I still like the playstyle of Whirlwind more when you just run through things. Multi-shot, you have to like actively cast multi-shot every time you see a group of enemies, but as soon as you do, they're instantly all dead. It's got good speed farming because you can just vault around everywhere. Very fun. And they just buffed it again recently. It's definitely not A tier because the pushing potential isn't there. But very fun set. And again, it's funny that the history of this set is because the insane multipliers and synergies on this is the reason all the other sets had to get reworked and usable because of unhallowed essence. We got our first S tier set, boys. There was one season this was so good I cleared my first 150. You can watch the video on my channel. Um, there was one season this was at like 5,000%, and the damage it could output was like you could one-shot 150 bosses with the little fire aspect guys. I think it was the last Soul Sword season actually. And they decided to nerf this by like 70%, and it's still insane. It can speed farm like 120s. At like 5k guns, it can speed farm like 130s. A couple more Paragon levels, a couple more K. Like if you were crazy enough to push like 8k guns, you could speed farm 140s with this. It just makes the guys turn into little splashes and they go everywhere, and it synergizes with like every pet bonus in the game, and you can have like 12 of these guys splashing around at the same time. This set, I think when they buffed it up, they just put in a number, and then that season it was so incredibly strong, and they nerfed it by 70%, and it didn't matter. It's still that good. I do agree that it needed that nerf, but the fact it still can speed farm 120s with like no problem. It's our first S tier build. Remnant of the Storm. Oh boy. It's bad. The only time you ever use it is to actually not wear this set. What you do is you wear your inner set, and you wear two pieces of this set with Ring of Royal Grandeur. 2 or 3 pieces. Basically, you can dash around forever, is all this set enables. They tried to buff it a couple seasons ago. People say it's like here now. No, it's not. Go try to play it. They multiplied 0 damage by 0 damage, so it went from like F to still being F. I don't know. I don't know why Dashing Strike they ever thought this should be an ability that a set should be based off. It's just your mobility button. Again, the only thing is it works in conjunction with this set if you're trying to speed farm. Sun Wolkos? Hot take, I hate the playstyle. I hate all the abilities it buffs. It's got like 10 different abilities you can play with it. But it's so mid. It's so mid. Just play a lot of Wave of Light. This has Wave of Light in like its list of 10 abilities that it buffs. However, just like same problem with the Lod Hoda is the Lod Wave of Light is just strictly better. Sunwoko is so mid. Uliana's. No, it's another really bad. It's not getting an F because I have seen people play it and say that it's fun, and I've actually even seen people do like really high tiers with it. But it's too RNG based on density. Basically, what this set does is you apply a dot called Exploding Palm, and then when any time one monster dies from that Exploding Palm, it does that damage to everything around it, and then like 10 times more than that. So basically, you have to be able to just kill like one little monster, and then it causes a chain reaction. The issue is density. If you open up a rift with like woods, and then there's like 12 elites there, you can win. But I don't like that there's a set in the game that's like basically based on the RNG of the maps and not the set. Inarius. Another one that you started out like insane when it was first out, and then it's just been nerfed and nerfed, and it's again terribly mid. And I think it's worse than Sunwoko actually. It's slipping into like D in terms of relevancy. Super fun. You got your little bone storm that goes around you, and like it increases every ability about like 10 times. But again, focus on one ability. That's the build. Is in this one, it focuses on use whatever you want, and it does 10 times more. But like again, 10 times 0 0, so it's painfully mid. Uh, Pestilence. Here's a set that should be F, but I'm going to put it in D because it has a very funny meme build. The build does no damage, can't push, can't do anything. There is a build where you can play with Golem and put on, I forget what they're called. It's either center gloves or shoulders. That makes a corpse every second, and it autocasts Corp Lance. Meaning you could just run around and do absolutely nothing. You can actually AFK and this build can clear a rift, assuming there's enough monsters around you. But that's the issue. Because you're doing no damage and all you really have is big toughness, you're never going to clear it in the 50. I bet this could clear 150, but it would take like 4 hours of just standing there. Which is funny. It's a funny build that it's a meme. That's why it's getting a D and not an F. It's got one thing going for it. Rathmas. This is another one that went from a history of being very good to bad to once again painfully mid. It used to just buff your pets, which was terrible. Then they changed to reducing or pretty much resetting the cooldown on your Army of the Dead, which lasted for like one PTR. Didn't even make live. And they decided, you know what, or maybe Army of the Dead shouldn't do like 10,000% damage because it would one-shot everything on the screen, and then as soon as you ran to the next screen of monsters, they'd also like reset the cooldown and then also be dead. So they nerfed the damage of the Army of the Dead multiplier on it. They left the cooldown reduction, but they didn't keep the damage, which made it it didn't last past that PTR, which is fine. Big complaint I have about Diablo 4 is that they're not doing PTRs and then wonder why everything's broke. But Rathmos very now I'm a solo player. I'm gonna say for groups, it's the best set that's ever existed. If you know about rats, rats was the way to level up for like years. What would you do is you'd have one Wrathman Necromancer in your group, and then because the minions had synergy with everybody else's skills, it would increase the damage they did as well. Which made it like everybody would do rat runs, which you basically brought one guy who wore this set, and then he would multiply your damage by like 1,000 times. But personally, as just a guy who plays solo, that's where it's gonna sit. We're not talking about rat runs because that's. I don't think it was intentional, but because it lasted so long, Blizzard just left it in there. Like, listen, this is what everybody does. It's efficient. Let's just leave it in the game. Tragools. Last season, it was the best build in the game, and it wasn't even close. Blood Nova would like instantly delete your entire screen, and because it gave you like health multiplier, you could get like 10 million health. You would never die. It had big damage reduction, it had big dodge, it had like everything. They nerfed it this season, and it's still insane. I watched yesterday a guy doing Blood Nova in 150 and clearing it like 5 minutes left. I even called this when they were going over the patch notes. I don't think the nerfs were the way they nerfed the set and the synergies. I don't like what they did. They should have made it so you can actually kill a single target. I get that it's a Nova build, which you want density and you want stuff to be around you. That's fine. My issue with it is you still need like 5 monsters around you for it to even do anything. If you're fighting like one monster, like the Rift Guardian, you're gonna do 0 damage. Um, yeah, I don't like the new playstyle where they nerf the synergies, but they also by doing that they nerf the fun. The actual set was the problem. The fact that you can get like 10 million health and just stand there. They should have reworked the entire set. Anyway, Arachneers. I don't like it, but other people do. Other people say it's really good. I think it falls firmly here. It's in groups. It's insane. It can kill the Rift Guardian like in like a minute, probably faster, probably like 30 seconds. Because the way you play it is you throw these spiders out, and the spiders increase the damage everybody else does, while also you're doing huge damage to one target. This build is another one that has like no AoE capabilities, but it can kill the boss. Um, you have a guy put this on and run with you. You clear all the little trash, and then you spawn the boss, and this guy handles the boss. That's what this set's for. Um, Helltooth? Hot take. I really like Helltooth. Um, the damage is really underrated. Um, the fact that it's a pet build and it's actually like works now. And the last like 3 patches they like buffed it and it flew under the radar. I've been watching people play Helltooth. It is not only good now, but it's fun. Yeah, I like Helltooth. I think that's where it sits. It could be better, but it's yeah, it's not. The Jade Harvester. Here's a set I wish was really good. I really, really wish Jade Harvester was good, but it's not. It's it's supposed to be a dot build, but it consumes the dots instead of just it should amplify every time you soul harvest, it should like cause the dots to do like 4 times damage until they die. So you should be able to run in a rift, dot everything up Locust Swarm, press Soul Harvest, and then like run to the next group as the last group is dying. Who cares if they die off screen? It's supposed to be a dot build, but it doesn't work that way. I get why it's designed the way it is because I'm sure this game engine doesn't support that, and they need you to be doing that damage now. Um, I just wish the game had a true dot build. Where again you could Locust Swarm them and then just run away. They would just die as you're moving on. I think this is Mundanugus or the other one. I'm not sure. We can look. Oh, Zunimasa's. Zuni's is very good. Uh, Surprisingly good, actually. You cast your spenders and you get a bunch of these tiny little fetishes who also cast. You basically play Poison Dart, which is a basic skill. But all your little fetishes that shoot the darts do like trillions of damage. It's funny. It's extremely fun. Um, the issue is they buffed it way up. I'm talking like here up, and then they decided it was too much. Still didn't really. It was encroaching S, but it never really made it there. And then they decided it was too much and nerfed it back. Mundanugus is not on here. Again, Mundanugus would be probably in here somewhere. Probably in between Impale and the Raycors. Because Mundanugus is just fun. It Spirit Barrage, but as soon as you cast Spirit Barrage, you get this sprinkler thing above your head that kills everything. It's a speed farming build, but it's really funny. It's another one that's like a meme. It's like a meme, but it's a good meme. So it's like a meme that actually is fun and you can play. Uh, DMO. No, DMO is another D. I was gonna put it in an F because I hate DMO. Um, but again, I've watched people play this with like 10k paragons and actually be able to do it. And like one guy I watched, he did Frozen Orb and actually like cleared the 150. The issue with it is it's weak, and the playstyle isn't for everybody. I think it's an okay playstyle. I like the amount of abilities that the set buffs. The issue with DMO is it's not very good. Again, it's another set that buffs like 10 different abilities, but doesn't focus on one of them. Uh, and like I said, I watched a guy play Frozen Orb and actually like clear, but he had like 10k paragons. At the end of last season, I think it was. No, the season before that, because last season had the Paragon caps. Either way, it's not worth. It's not worth like trying to do anything with DMO until you've played for so long that you don't know anything else exists outside of Diablo 3. I had Firebirds. I like Firebirds. I wish it was way better. The set literally says on it when you do burning damage, they will burn until they die. The issue with that is the tick is so low damage that again this could clear 150 given infinite amount of time, but it doesn't do enough damage to clear it in the 15 minutes you're given, right? You could open a 150 woods, spend all day, get to the Rift Guardian, and then just burn and just run away from him because they burn until they die. So it's a fun set that literally says right on it like exactly what you the game plan is. But the issue with the game plan is it doesn't do enough damage to push. I also wouldn't speed farm with it because, again, they burn until they die. Who like speed farming? Everything's supposed to be dead. Like as soon as you see it, it should be gone. So it doesn't matter about the burning damage. Um, it's super fun and hardcore because it's a third cheat death. I played a Firebirds wizard and actually once built like all toughness and stuff. Went on hardcore and tried to die, and between the follower cheat death, the Firebird cheat death, and the wizard one, the temporal anomaly, I couldn't die. I tried to, and it like by the time one cheat death came off cooldown, the next one was ready. So Firebird, you can build it tanky, and basically again you could do a 150, but it's gonna take you like 4 hours. You know, assuming you've already progressed to that point and unlocked it, you could do that. I think this is Tal Rasha's, and I'm not sure what this one is. Let's see. Sorry, I need this because I don't remember a lot of the sets in this game. Oh, Veers. Veers in the last couple of years has been bad. Yeah, Veers isn't good. Becoming Archon doesn't matter. At one point, it was the best build in the game because like people figured out it was the first set that people actually like tinkered with and figured out how to like push really high. They used like bazooka with the stars packed, and Veers was cool for like a year in this game, like 4 seasons. I think it was really good. But then people figured out other sets and how much better all these other reworks and stuff were. Veers has really fallen off. I don't know why you'd play Veers anymore. I guess if you want to play Archon and like press that button and become like kind of like Wrath of the Berserker for Barb, where you kind of like you get a new skill. You even get a new skill bar with like Disintegrate and Punch, and the only one that matters is Punch because you can stack Stricken with Punch. So you get like Arcane Punch or whatever it's called, and then it's fun if you really like being like looking like you should be super powered, but not actually. Uh, I'm gonna leave Tal Rasha's for last because we got a couple more sets to talk about. Sets that aren't in the list. Chantotos, it's like a D now. It's not an F because it had that one season where you Chantotos was like you'd actually use it. Um, we can open it up and talk about it. The one season where Veers was really good, you would use this with it. Basically, while you were Archon, you'd get these stacks, and once you got up to 20 stacks, you could like do like a big punch. The issue with Chantotos is it fell off at the same time Veers did. So there's that. Oh, we didn't talk about the Typhon's Veil. Um, this is Typhon's Veil is probably my absolutely favorite set in the game. Um, the issue is it's not strong. I want to play Hydra Sorceress or Hydra Wizard. Sorry, I'm used to Diablo 4 now, but I want to play Hydra Wizard. But these suck. This needs to be like 4,000%. This needs to be like 16%. And people say it's really good. Yeah, I want to play Hydra, and I also want. I don't like how the Hydras notoriously, like in Diablo 2, they were notorious for being Fire Hydra, right? They were part of the Fire tree. In Diablo 3, you use the Frost rune and all the Frost synergies, and I don't know why. They should have another line in this last success bonus. It should say Hydra's deal 4,000% increased damage for each Hydra head alive, and gain a special bonus based on what element you use, and then it should be like fire causes them to burn till they die. Ice does this, and then it would be a fun set based. And then you could have people who use different hydras. But right now, the fact you can only use the frost hydra and the damage is like still very low despite the set being buffed. This has got to go in like a C, like C, almost D. Very fun set, very bad. Implication like the way they put it in the game is not very good. Okay. I guess we could talk about the crafted sets. All Guilds is insane for sets that get really high Paragon. It's like the best rogue set you can craft. Borns nobody uses. Canes is good for your follower. Captain Crimson is insane for Innas. With Rogue, you can get like big cooldown and big resource cost reduction. Basically, lets you run around and spam the guys that splash around. Captain Crimson's Demon Skin nobody uses. The Hollow Defenders are really cool transmogs, but nobody uses them. And Sages again for your follower. You get double keys and double death sprouts. Very good change. The follower season was really cool. It needed more to it, but yeah, it's all follower stuff. Non-class sense. Oh, Bastions of Focus and Restraint. Great set. Awesome set. Basically rings that say you can do double damage if you use a spender, a builder, and a spender. Builder and a spender. Builder and a you just spam those buttons over and over. Very cool for people that want to play those builds, or it synergizes with the builds. Blackthorn's terrible. The only one that matters is the legs, because yeah, I can show off why. This right here. Basically, there's a lot of builds in the game that use no sets, but you still want to wear these pair of pants because it can roll elemental damages. the only item in that set that matters. Little Rogue and the Slanderer. Once again, very fun for sets that it synergizes with. It's like a flat 30% to like everything, but I think the only one that uses it anymore is like Whirlwind. Sad that it's ended up that way. Realms, terrible. Both these items don't do anything. Legacy of Nightmares. A set that was so good that they had to put it in the game permanently, which nobody ever uses Legacy of Nightmares anymore. However, there's a gem, a legendary gem now called Legacy of Dreams, I think, which does the same thing as wearing the two rings. I love that it was so impactful of a thing that it had to like get put in the game. That was cool. Bocathos weapons, very cool for speed barb if you're like just starting out. It's cool if you find these two items like early season, like on the first day, you can just start spinning. That basically gives you infinite fury. It's actually plus 45 fury per second now. But basically, these swords just let you never run out of fury. It's basically what it does. And again, if you find them on like hour 1 of the season after hitting 70, you might use them, but you want to get out of them as quick as you can. Oh, we didn't talk about Horde of the 90 Savages on the tier list. I'd put it actually like here on like a almost S. Super fun. Frenzy is a super fun iconic ability. The issue with it is it quickly becomes, it's not S because it quickly becomes apparent that this isn't very fun. I'm just standing here as my guy like attacks so fast the animations are broke. Like he just goes and then he's attacking so fast that like he didn't even use his arms anymore. I don't know. Frenzy Barb, very fun, very good build this season. Gets really boring after like a week. Same problem as the Earth set. Like, I'm tired of jumping around. I'm tired of charging around. I'm tired of just standing here as my animations break because my attack speed's like 1,000%. Very cool idea, and it needed more to it. Where like you could like consume the frenzy stacks to like do a thing, or I don't know. Let's see. Again, the God set would be S, our second S, but it's not in here. Norvald's Fervor. This is really good for the horse, the Pony Crusader. This is what makes it possible now. And this is a very good set. This is like an S tier. The two Crusader weapons for the steed, S tier. They enable that whole build, and it's the best speed farming in the game right now. Okay, Tal Rasha's hot take. I think it's still an S. They nerfed it by half, and I've still watched people do like put on their meteor sets and stuff, and still go like do 150. The fact that it was the best set in the game, it was like S plus like last season. It was like so far above S, it was like we need a whole new name, Tal Rasha's tier for it. And they nerfed it by half, and it's still crushing, absolutely crushing. Maybe I got these mixed up. Maybe this is Tal Rasha's, maybe this is Veer's, but just know that I think this is Tal Rasha's, and if so, it's S tier. People are gonna say you're dumb. It's really bad now. No, I've watched people play, and it's still good. Half wasn't. The fact that they said at its peak it could clear like a 171. That's dumb. Um, assuming those tiers ever existed, but they don't. Um, and the playstyle, another reason it's S is the playstyle is like again very casual friendly. You press meteor. That's the whole gameplay. And then if you want to get good, you put on like teleport and then safe passage so you can get damage reduction. But you could play it without teleport. You press meteor. That's the build. So those are my tiers. I did this because season 30 again, the game's in maintenance mode now, and I think this is a fair assessment of all the sets. Um, again, right now Ina's is I don't know how they left it like this, but Ina's is S. Um, pushing Tal Rasha is probably still the best set. Speed S for speed. Ina's is our king right now. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.